Welcome back to Coast Vue. I really enjoyed that conversation with Jace Payne, and I'm so proud of the city of Gulfport for their continued commitment to make Harbor Lights one of the top events like it in the United States, in the top 5. It's incredible. And as he pointed out, they've only been going at this for 7 years, and they're going against other communities that have been doing this for 10 or 15 years. And it's just remarkable. They've had so much success. And also to my friend Rick Carter and Terry Green for their commitment from the Island View to help fund this effort that has really become one of the hallmarks for coastal Mississippi during the holiday season. And as I pointed out at the beginning of the show, as I was putting up the tree with my 2-year-old grandson Liam yesterday, and watching through his eyes, his amazement as this used to be. I was a big real tree guy for many, many years. It took a lot to get me to go to a fake tree, but the tree is a big, tall tree, and it comes together in these pieces, and then we plug the lights in to make sure it all works, and it just builds. And I'm watching through his eyes as he observes what he views as this miracle, this tree growing in the living room. And I love seeing through his eyes, Christmas. I mean, it's just so cool. And as I shared, Hans Christian Andersen said, the whole world is a series of miracles, but we're so used to seeing them that we call them ordinary things. We get used to it. We get used to the miracles around us. And as I pointed out in the first part of the show, the work that local businesses are doing, in a lot of ways, that's kind of a miracle. We take it for granted, but what they do to give back to the community, not only in terms of taxes, but in their commitment to the community and helping address challenges in this community. They're the ones who support our soccer teams. There's so many miracles that happen here in coastal Mississippi, and I can't think of a better person to talk to about that than my friend Nicole Martz. We've had wonderful visits in the past. Nicole works for IP, but she's got this kind of side gig that is awesome called Gulf Coast Gal. And we're going to talk about all that here in just a second. But anyway, welcome back to Coast Vue, Nicole.
Thanks a bunch, Ricky. I'm happy to be here.
It is true, though. There are miracles all over coastal Mississippi, and we do tend to take it for granted, don't we?
Definitely. And that's, one of my initiatives with Gulf Coast Gal is giving a little bit of a different perspective to locals and visitors alike about, all of the awesome businesses and restaurants that we have to offer down here.
Well, I admire you because you have a day job at the IP casino, marketing related, and you've leveraged a lot of what you've learned over your career in this Gulf Coast Gal effort, which is really kind of a labor of love for you.
For sure.
But I enjoy it. I enjoy it because you're focusing on local restaurants and local things to do in a way that really give people extreme focus so that we don't take it for granted. As you point out, it's kind of your goal, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. Whether it be the restaurant around the corner that you've never tried or, something on the other side of the coast that you've been eyeballing for a while. That's my goal initially, is to bring awareness to all of those.
And as I said also when the conversation with Jace, that this is the time of year when, especially local retailers, they're gonna make it or break it this time of year.
Sure.
So this notion of shop local, which is kind of a theme of Coast Vue during the holidays, you live that theme every day in your Gulf Coast Gal effort, don't you?
Oh, yeah, definitely. There's quite a few things, especially during the holiday season, that are really exciting and always on the list. For instance, there is a wonderful giant sandy snowman that Past Christian always makes every year. That's really, really fun to go see and experience. A lot of families go over there and take family photos, but it's something that's just right on the beach that's free to go visit and is a community, labor of love, as well as a giant crab trap tree that they create. So really unique and a little fun spin on a coastal Christmas. And then, of course, you had Jace with the Gulfport Harbor Lights. That is a phenomenal offering and experience down here for everyone. I love to go multiple times throughout the year just because, you see it, maybe a different light fixture that you hadn't seen before. Oh, wow, I wonder how they did that. And it's really special to share with family and friends visiting from out of town. And then, of course, another one on my top list, especially with hockey back, is going to be ice skating at the Mississippi Gulf Coast Coliseum and Convention Center. It's a really fun, wintry experience for sure.
Hey, listen, speaking of that, incidentally, I had the opportunity, and for people who didn't see my show with Matt McDonald, and as we talked about, I had the opportunity to go spend an afternoon with Matt when the Judds concert was here, and when we just get when I was publisher, I didn't have the time to go visit and do what I did at the Coliseum after all those years of working closely with the Coliseum. But I just wanted to see kind of a behind the scenes look at all the things that Matt had been telling me about the investments that they've made back into the Coliseum, what it takes to put a big event like the Judds show off, and to really understand the incredible teamwork and really the relationship between the traveling folks who actually set up and the work that his team does and all these different parties that are involved in it. It was magical. But what was interesting, you mentioned ice skating. What was interesting to me is that here's this huge, over $1 million show for the Mississippi Coast Coliseum, and within just a few hours after it ending, the whole Coliseum is back converted again into a hockey rink, and here they are having a Seawolves game the next day. Yeah. And then, as you pointed out, when the Seawolves games are not happening, you have this wonderful public ice skating that can take place. But that's a miracle. That's a miracle that they can do that, isn't it?
It's really a testament to everybody working together for a common goal. Experiences along the Mississippi Gulf Coast. I really love that. The story that you brought up was
Nicole, what's interesting, I said this last week, and I'll mention it again, that my wife Ann and I will occasionally have a very special gift that we want to give someone. It could be birthday. Oftentimes we get into this mode during Christmas, and we'll think, I want to get something that's uniquely, or we want to get something that's uniquely South, coastal Mississippi. And man, when you start asking that question, what is uniquely coastal Mississippi? Man, there are so many unique ways to achieve that goal, aren't there?
For sure. The one really exciting thing that people don't think about, I think, is gift cards to local restaurants. It's a great gift to give people, especially, if they're going to have you join them. But there's a lot of different local businesses around town that offer gift cards if, you want shops. But as far as kind of coastal flair, the Biloxi Visitor Center has a lot of great ornaments and keepsakes that are wonderful. And then there's a new store in Ocean Springs called Deck the Palms, fairly new over on Highway 90. And they have, everything from ornaments to garland and everything in between. And then, of course, you can't forget the Christmas tree to, wrap it all up and add that final touch of Christmas spirit.
Yeah, there's no question. I mean, actually, the Biloxi Visitor Center, my son Justin was down from New York City, and he had his girlfriend Lauren with him. And they stayed with us for a week, and it was terrific. They just actually worked from coastal Mississippi while they were here. And so they actually spent the day out just, him showing Lauren, his hometown. They went to the visitor center, and she actually bought for Ann this Christmas tree, small Christmas tree made out of oyster shells. Yeah. It's just beautiful. Mm-hmm. And then when they were at the Ore Museum, they bought for me this just really wonderfully handcrafted fishing lure. Yeah. Just a beautiful. I mean, it's a beautiful piece of art. But people forget about the local museums and what's available there. As you pointed out, the Biloxi Visitor Center and what's available there. But just about every stop you make, there's something unique. And I pointed this out last week as well, that I tell you, if you just run out of opportunities or things that you might buy, or you can't figure out what you want to do, what you want to buy, that the gift certificate to a restaurant is a terrific way to do it, because we have hundreds, if not thousands, of local restaurants that have so many unique ways to satisfy your palate. And you've taken a lot of those in, haven't you?
Oh, 100%. One of my most recent videos was Henry's Cafe and Bakery in D'Iberville, and it's off the beaten path, and it doesn't look, it's inconspicuous in an old Napa Auto Parts building, but they have amazing banh mi's and phenomenal egg rolls and all kinds of other wonderful dishes. And so it's really great. Gift cards are a really great opportunity for people to go out and explore and then share those experiences. And food, is really important in sharing experiences. People like to have a dinner and talk about what's been happening. And so I always go to gift cards as number one gift is gift cards to local restaurants because you can share an experience, support a local business, and then enjoy a great meal together.
One of the things I noticed, there's two things I noticed on social media. One is you're seeing local businesses that are actually in the business now of helping people decorate their homes and getting ready for sort of this festive time of the year. And the other is that there's so many incredible catering options available to people as they think about holiday parties and all that, again, with a local flair. When we come back on the other side, I'm visiting with Nicole Martz, who is she's got a day job as with marketing responsibilities at IP Casino, but her labor of love on the side is this Gulf Coast Gal effort that she sort of engages her marketing capabilities around, and it's just really terrific. I love supporting her because of what the really positive face that she's putting on coastal Mississippi. We'll see you after this break. That time of year in coastal Mississippi is people sort of decorations and holiday parties and all these things. And my friend Nicole Martz, Gulf Coast Gal, you got to go check her out on YouTube. You'll be glad you did. She's giving you sort of these unique perspectives of all these places that I think often we probably take for granted. You pass it in your car and you just never really stop there. And she's stopping there and showing you, if you did, this is what you would experience in that restaurant or that unique store, or even it could be a place to get entertained or whatever. There's so many different choices here in coastal Mississippi. But when you think about creating festive opportunities for caterers, you've seen those as well, haven't you?
Oh, most definitely. Especially, with the holiday season happening right now, there's a lot of different options across the Mississippi Gulf Coast, all the way from Pascagoula, Ocean Springs, Gulfport, and beyond. Some of my favorites are definitely going to be Little Market, Deli and Baglery in Ocean Springs. Food, Booze, and Hiccups provides amazing catered dishes, but also they kind of bring the meal to you as well if you are limited for time or space. Fallon's in Gulfport is always a fan favorite. Their chicken salad is amazing, and they have lots of take and bake options too. So from these different local businesses and restaurants, they offer a wide variety, and just check out their website or, of course, on social media, and you can learn about their offerings. Some other favorites, of course, are going to be Archie's in Gulfport, Salute in Gulfport. It's phenomenal. And then Miss Audrey's also in Gulfport, and Miss Audrey's also recently won Best Gumbo at the Gulfport Gumbo Fest that just happened. So really congratulations, but that gumbo's got to be real good if it's award-winning now. And then one of my favorites and probably top of my list is going to be Scranton's in Pascagoula.
Yeah. Hey, you mentioned Fallon's in Gulfport. My grandkids go to school with her kids. Yeah. And so, but long before I met her for the first time, we would stop by there on a regular basis just to have lunch. And you're right about her chicken salad. But just another great example of a woman who had a vision for a restaurant and just set out to do it, and she did it, and it continues to do really well. And she's just, you want to support people like Fallon, don't you?
100%. I mean, just hometown people that, like you said, are trying to cook up some wonderful flavor and serve their community and with their talents. And it's definitely something that you want to go out and support and experience and taste and enjoy.
How are your YouTube videos doing?
They're doing really well. I've had quite a few that have kind of gone bananas. It's really exciting, but one of them was actually a cooking class with Food, Booze, and Hiccups. We learned to do some Vietnamese dishes, which is really phenomenal, and again, speaks to that wonderful culture down here on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Another one that's really popular right now is, of course, the Mississippi Seawolves hockey game. Everybody wants to know what to experience and what to expect when they go. And then at the Mississippi Aquarium recently did a sea trek underwater excursion, and it was a lot of fun to experience. So people want to know, what's inside the Mississippi Aquarium, and that's a great way for them to do so.
So as you think forward, you probably have a to-do list that's very, very long, don't you?
Oh, 100%. I have a huge laundry list. Right now is going to be visiting Darwell's in Long Beach. Coming back, it's such a recognizable place, and I want to go and cross that off my list. And in addition to that, in Long Beach, Radish is a fairly new restaurant. They moved out of their food truck and created this new experience, and it's been lines on lines on lines. So I want to put that on the forefront for Gulf Coast Gal. Newly here in my hometown of Van Cleve, we have Bluebird Bakery and Donut Co. So of course you want to start your morning off right with some delicious, local hometown donuts. And then Mangiamo Italian in Gulfport. I am 100% a fan of Italian food, so that is top of my list. And then camping over in Waveland in Buccaneer State Park. We've had some not so favorable weather lately, but once that clears up, I'm definitely going to be found there, enjoying all the sights and sounds of that wonderful state park that we have available.
You mentioned Radish in Long Beach. I had Adrienne Elliott on recently, who bravely told her story of her breast cancer and what she's done about it. And one of her design efforts was Radish, the Radish restaurant in Long Beach. She's an interior designer. And I haven't been there, but I saw some pictures. It seemed like a really special place, and I've heard for people who've gone there really enjoy it.
Oh yeah, 100%. And you can tell they put, lots of attention to detail. And like you said, the interior design all the way down to the dishes and the plating and all of their ingredients. So really special place, and I'm hoping to visit really soon.
So is it you're sort of a data nerd because you're marketing people. They want to know demographics. They want to know the level of engagement that's happening. That's the world you come from. It's got to give you a thrill when you see a video start to kind of take off organically.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It's exciting for people to be excited about coastal Mississippi. I'm sure you can relate. So anytime I see, those visits or those subscribers accounts go up, it's just all about spreading the word and helping out local businesses.
Yeah, for sure. Shop local. That's what this conversation is about. And really enjoy the amazing miracles that are all across coastal Mississippi. We wouldn't be the community we are without small business and what they bring to the table. But Nicole Martz, Gulf Coast Gal, it's been a pleasure spending some time with you, and we'll have you back on soon.
Thanks so much, Ricky. Have a great day.
You bet. Have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow.